Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Module 6. I hope everybody had an opportunity to celebrate Thanksgiving or their like holiday. Thanksgiving's always been one of my favorite holidays growing up as a child. A lot of family. I lived next door to my grandparents, so we always went there, and then the rest of the family always came, and we had a lot of space to go outside and enjoy ourselves and do different things. So have a lot of memories, positive memories from that time. So I hope that if you're a fan of Thanksgiving, you also had some good memories. So as we launch into Module 6, we're getting closer to being done and really have some things we need to address this week. I'm going to see if I can get my presentation to advance here. There it goes. Always seems to never want to work the first couple times I click it. So here you can see our reading and other activities. There's some articles, and I believe there is a chapter out of the textbook that I didn't see on the slide, so we may have to be aware of that as you're looking through the required reading and other activities. But you can see there's 3 different articles, and then there's a video. And really you want to pay attention to risk management. I mean, all of the articles are important in the respect of the topic we're talking about, because we talk about there's a little bit of FMLA this week and some continued looking at holidays, particularly floating holidays versus company mandated holidays. And you'll read more about this in the chapter of the text, and that's what prompted me to think about it. But, think of floating holidays. In our organization, we call them personal days. You can select 2 personal days to take as paid time off. So you can usually, a lot of people will use them around this time of year. They'll take a day for Thanksgiving, like a day early or a day late, or around Christmas. And then usually they'll use the other one at some point over the summer to take a day off or something like that. They're not set days. That's why they're called floating. Versus the company mandated are usually the federal government holidays. Most organizations will observe those. Depending on your organization, when you work in healthcare, you'll see a lot fewer, typically closer to 6 to 8. Whereas when you work in the finance or other industries of that nature, generally they're off for most all of the federal holidays. So I guess if you like to have time off, it might be something to consider as you look at future employment in different industries. So looking at our deliverables this week, we have an HR inbox exercise. And as you can see, this is kind of a continuation of the assignment that we did in Unit 2 with the HR inbox exercise. So here you're going to have 3 emails that you're responding to. 2 are from managers and one is from employees. There's a question about FMLA and termination. Research that one very carefully. FMLA has a lot of job protections. And then the holiday question, floating versus company mandated. Just give us some overview on that. And then the repetition of training. And we had a similar scenario in the last exercise. So most people were able to address that fairly well. And then the second is your HRCI, good gracious, can't talk today, certificate. You're probably more familiar with that process than I am. I click on it and get a login page that I don't have access to as an instructor. But please work with these. You'll find that whether you go with HRCI or SHRM, both of them have certifications. They're valuable when you're looking for work. Now, in terms of using what you're going to learn, I'll be honest with you. There are many things that I learned. I took the prep course. When I went to college, they didn't have this opportunity. But I took a prep course prior to taking my certification exam, and I learned a lot of things. I had a really good instructor that she addressed, here's what's on the test, here's what you need to prepare for, but she also tied that back to here's how you're going to use it in the real world. So it was very helpful, I thought. Next week, Project 2 is going to be due, so putting it on your radar because there's some background work. It's much like Project 1. We're going to have some work that we need to do. So you're again reviewing the handbook. It's kind of a continuation of the previous exercise that we did. So you're going to look at the handbook. There's a reference to the Department of Labor website, both in the resource section, so please pay attention to that. And then after your review, you'll be drafting your memo as well as submission of the risk audit document. So at the end of Project 2, you're looking for 2 items there, that document and the memo. Now, I'm going to put out a disclaimer that my next slide is a slidegement, which I've told you not to do, and I apologize, but I felt it was easier to copy and paste the information in so you could see it versus me trying to retype it and getting erroneous information. So here's the rubric criteria that they're going to be looking for, or actually I'm going to be looking for when you submit. So what's our errors? What's our policy ranking? And they're looking from highest to lowest. Please don't just give me a bullet point list. Put it into it. You can put some bullet points in there, but really those should be brief. We're not creating a shopping list. We're creating a memo to help the organization identify risks from highest ranking to lowest ranking. And then any particular laws and regulations that you found in the DOL policy or in supplemental research. As a reminder, don't forget your in-text citations. While you don't normally provide in-text citations in your memo in the professional workplace, this is an academic paper, so you'll need to do in-text citations as well as proper formatting per APA standards. And then the memo for the manager, obviously, is your handbook summary, and there's going to be some crossover between the two in that respect, as well as the ranking. And then your role, how are we going to fix it? What are we going to do? Do we need to do more training? Do we need to do revision of the document? Do we need to bring in a consultant? Whatever recommendations you find. And then, of course, risks to the company. So that's kind of what we're looking for as we outline those various things in those submissions. But again, that's not until Module 7, so you don't have to panic. It's not due this week. It is due next week, but I want to put it on your radar so you can time management. So outside of that, that's all I have. I hope everybody has a great week. If you reach out, or if you need something, please reach out. I'm happy to assist. Thank you and have a great day.